This $25 billion nuclear power plant is Turkey's first, but to NATO, it's a potential security risk. That's because Russia is the one funding it, building it, and operating it for the next 60 to 80 years. But for Turkey, the Akkuyu Nuclear Power Plant is a big step towards energy independence and economic development. With multiple major pipelines carrying natural gas and oil running through Turkey, the nation leverages its geographical location and infrastructure to act as an energy trader in the region. But Turkey itself is also heavily reliant on imported energy, with over 70% of its supply coming from countries like Russia, Iran, and Azerbaijan. Turkey has long sought to diversify and stabilise its energy mix to rely less on its trade partners.
So for many decades, Turkey has wanted to build a nuclear power sector. And for many decades, Turkey tried.
Then, in 2010, Turkey signed a deal with Russia. The two nations agreed to a financial model known as Build, Own, Operate. That means Russia's state nuclear agency, Rosatom, will essentially do everything at Akkuyu. Once the power plant is fully online, its 4 reactors will have an installed capacity of 4.8 gigawatts, which will generate about 10% of Turkey's electricity. In other words, nearly enough to power Istanbul. In a 15-year deal, Turkey will buy the energy at a fixed rate, helping to reduce the volume of Turkey's energy imports by about 7 billion cubic meters annually. At the time Turkey and Russia signed the agreement, the West had good relations with Moscow until
Russia takes control of Crimea.
NATO member Turkey says it shot down a Russian warplane.
Since then, rising tensions between Moscow and NATO have sparked concern over Russia's ownership of Akkuyu. Critics are concerned that if tensions escalate even further, Russia's ownership of the plant could expand its influence in the region. Additionally, critics say that Moscow could use the plant as a tool for political bargaining. But the ownership model that has generated so much debate is also what made it an attractive offer to Turkey. Today, with dozens of facilities under contract, Russia is a leader in constructing and operating nuclear projects around the world.
There are so many incentives for Turkey and Russia to maintain an operational political relationship, and this power plant is one of them.
Now, the first reactor is scheduled to go online at the end of 2026, and Turkey says Akkuyu will be completed by 2028. Turkey is in talks with several countries to build another nuclear power plant, and Turkey's energy minister has said that Russia is once again coming out ahead. But until Turkey can build a power plant on its own,
they are making an investment for generations to come. That is also a marker of political confidence, that that relationship can be maintained for a century to come.